Alright. OBS says it's going. Can you agree, YouTube? Can you agree? Yay, it's agreeing. It's showing me green. Yay. Still here. Don't hide the question. I actually did earlier today. Because it didn't feel like doing nothing I should be doing. Not this one, at least. I played some more on the other character. Actually, so it finally let me unlock the difficulty. It was just, what did it say? Like, how many days was it? I don't remember. We can. Hang on, I'm just trying to get the preview thing set up. There. Yes, this is 1 day 14 hours. That was has 2 days. But the other one, at least, which I did spend a bunch of time doing, is like some farming. That was over 48 hours. Wow, I don't know. It's the thing that I should be doing, but I wasn't doing it. I want to be quick. So, Blue Can Assassin's Creed Origins. Origins, not Odyssey. I don't have Odyssey yet. I am getting a copy. So I do intend to do that. That's in a week. But anyway. I haven't even completely finished the game yet. And I'm already past 50 hours. And I haven't even touched, well, I've not knowingly touched the DLC. It's possible I have. It seems like there may be some missions that are in the just base game world that do relate to the DLC. I don't know why. Hang on. Whoa, what the hell? There were a lot of dropped frames. Why? YouTube is upset. Yeah, so hopefully my plan is my expectation is I will be able to finish the Origins base game today, then I'll write that much of the review, which is basically going to be the bulk of the review, and then go on to the DLC, and those will just have their own pages, like what I Shadow of War, though middle of the Shadow of War, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure is on sale. This is a WB publisher. I'm trying to with. No, I think I did take the time to. I do. After finishing the base game, I wrote that much of the review. After finishing the one DLC, I wrote that portion. Finished the other DLC, write that portion. I think that's how I did it the other time too. Because you don't want to accidentally cross stuff. And fortunately, in most cases, it's like the gameplay is all consistent. Graphics are consistent. I don't need to do this into great depth. Lots of time. Yeah, let me think. What is there to talk about? I have been so focused on. I really do not remember all of this week. Like the different things that happened. Oh yeah, there is that. That was only yesterday though. Intel officially acknowledging supply issues. Not saying, well, not explicitly saying, offering suggestions as to why the dinosaurs which said, hey, we're just so popular, we can't keep up with demand. There have been some other suggestions I've seen, and not in a way that it's still true what I've seen suggested, but it's also not quite as positive. And this was where I saw it talked about with the whole, was it the H310C chipset? Maybe going back to 28 nanometer, a larger processor. there that it was talking about, like the source of the item, or just I've seen it talked about elsewhere. Intel may have just so expected, and it would make some sense that they're to a new node, like to 10 nanometer, which is what's been going on, which has been delayed repeatedly. That has been hurting because they were thinking, hey, we move off 14 nanometer onto 10 nanometers, so just how things would progress, each of the different nodes would be manufacturing, supply would be fine. Because 10 nanometer has been so delayed, they have so many more products on 14, they can't keep up. That is what I saw suggested, which is kind of poor planning at that point. It's not just a, hey, there's such high demand, it's also a, well, we thought we would not have these problems ever happen. But yeah, anyway, they said in that open letter that they put another $1 billion into their fabs at different various sites. I don't know all of them. It's like there's one more because I actually know a guy who got a job there.
Hello. Haven't seen you around. Not here for the landscape, I suppose. What do you want? Do you hunt wolves? There aren't too many in these parts. But if you happen to have any lupine claws...
PhD in physics. Physical laws? I don't remember. Phase 1 guy. I just... He annoys me. He irritates me. So it's... yeah. But good for him. But along with the $1 billion to the fabs, also they want to reprioritize certain things. So putting a priority on Xenon and on the Core series. So the low end sublines would be lower priority. It's funny. I think I did see one or two places people saying that that's like, oh, they're just prioritizing the higher margin stuff. Well, it's also, how do people even think about Solomons? Assuming that is what still exists. I actually don't know what they have at the low end. I know the Core series. I don't know what the entry level is. To me, like Core i3s, those are the entry levels. So it's like, these are probably also what's don't just sell and make the most money for them, but also just sell the most of, I would think. And Xenon, there's no way in hell Intel would ever compromise their production for Xenons. It's like, you do not mess with your data center parts. Not today. And that's true for both Intel and AMD. It's, because it's, like one of the things I also read up this week is that there's some speculation that AMD has 50% market share in desktop CPUs. And that's both because the Ryzen desktop processors are a tremendous offer, but also because Intel's having the supply shortages right now, which is driving the pricing up. And AMD, because they're using a different company to provide, they're not running. So yeah, that's. But one thing that was mentioned there was expectation. Maybe it was that they had achieved 5% of the server market. And it's like, because I don't even know if Intel had 99%. I don't think it was actually AMD, because there's also some ARM-based servers that would also be part of it. And potentially, I don't know for sure, but there might also be like a PowerPC as well. But I remember back when Epic first launched, well, maybe even before that, when people just speculating how Epic would be. But there were some pointing out that even getting just 5%, that is many millions of dollars. That is how big that market is. Desktop is tiny. It really is a small amount of market share. And it's a weird. It's especially weird because some people are like with AMD as far as the whole, oh, Vega's a mess, oh, and stuff. It's not a mess for one thing. We'll say that. It's not an amazing, wonderful, kick-ass gaming card, but the thing is that it's still selling exceedingly well for workstation kind of stuff. It's like for gaming, it may not be great, but for these other things that are like hundreds of billions of dollars kind of market versus desktop gaming is more like in the billions or tens of billions. I am kind of blowing those numbers out of nowhere, but it is the difference. It is between desktop and the professional and workstation, professional and server type markets. It is like an order of magnitude difference, and AMD is actually doing quite well in it. And it's just, it does kind of hurt them though, because they don't have the good press of the fastest gaming GPU in existence. You know, NVIDIA can claim that, but it's for workstation cards. It's like, well, yeah, they're actually pretty damn close. And speaking of the NVIDIA GPUs, so something I've seen in a few places, including at OCC, but other places, people talking about DLSS as, like, you know, ray tracing is like, whatever. Like, yeah, it's a gimmick. And but some people are like, oh no, that's the thing to upgrade. That's why that legitimizes spending all that money for an RTX 2080 or 2080 Ti. And Digital Foundry did a video on it, and also there's a Eurogamer write-up. And for those of you that don't know, Digital Foundry is like under Eurogamer. I don't fully know the relationship, but it's like they're all employees of Eurogamer. I just don't know if it's considered Digital Foundry is considered like a separate entity. It's just that it's like a side accepted and recognized and appreciated side project of people that work there, or if it's something like that. I don't know if it is like just part of it. That video, it is an interesting one to watch. It's somewhat informative, but Hardware Unboxed, by the way, the people that do that look at TechSpot, I think it is. So it's another one of these. I'm not actually sure how it breaks down, but they do also they will have like when they review the product on Hardware Unboxed, the written reviews and TechSpot, so it's the written version. But they also did a thing on DLSS specifically to tackle that, and they did a very nice talk through it. Like Digital Foundry felt more complimentary of DLSS, whereas Hardware Unboxed felt more, we came at this as skeptical, and yeah, it's not as good as people think. It's not a killer feature, at least not from what they've seen so far. Both talk about how, in fact, that DLSS runs, if you're running at 4K, if the output resolution is 4K, it's actually rendered at 1440, unless you're using DLSS 2x. Then it renders at that native resolution, but otherwise it upscales it. Well, both had noticed that, yeah, there are spots, though, where it's like, yeah, that not rendering at native resolution in the two NVIDIA-provided demos, yeah, you can see that there's a loss of it. But, you know, it'd say, hey, you're getting, you know, something near 4K, though, that, you know, look at how good it looks. I think both agreed that, yeah, in the Final Fantasy, the DLSS looks better than the 4K with TAA. And I think Digital Foundry pointed it out. I know Hardware Unboxed did, that the TAA in Final Fantasy is shit. Is it Final Fantasy 15, by the way? I just don't remember which Final Fantasy it is. But yeah, it's like, this isn't a good implementation of TA. So I mean, personally, I'm suspect. I'm skeptical because TAA is the only anti-aliasing method that NVIDIA has officially compared it against. And at least one of the things about it, the page talking about, hey, these are all the Turing features, and see how wonderful and amazing they are, and how wonderful and amazing they are BIOS. It points out a ghosting artifact that, yes, it can happen with TAA. And I feel like I may have talked about this before. I'm not sure. But I know with SMA's temporal anti-aliasing option, you can... there's a portion to it that's actually set up to prevent that. So it's like, we have solutions there. Calling out that, hey, this doesn't have this problem isn't actually impressive. At least to me, because I know that it's, well, it depends on what kind of temporal anti-aliasing solution you're using. And it could even come down to the implementation of that, because it's weird. I can't find, like, official documentation as to what the hell TAA is. It's like, it's temporal anti-aliasing. How does it work? I don't know. I haven't been able to find that. It is talked a little bit about, but yeah. Anyway, what Hardware Unbox ended up doing for the Infiltrator, because is the Final Fantasy demo, which, by the way, both these are like on Rails demos, they said. But there's also the Epic Infiltrator demo that, again, it's on Rails, that they did, but they went a little bit further with it. For one thing, they actually compared DLSS against it without TAA, so without anti-aliasing, just straight to see, you know, for that comparison, which, yeah, that is an appropriate comparison to do. But they also decided, you know, we're gonna, since we know DLSS is upscaling, let's look at other solutions that we have. What would it look like if it were G4? Just rendered with that, don't use DLSS, have it upscaled, and, you know, just work it that way. This guy just talks.
Oh, so you opened the gate?
Yeah.
Didn't they teach you to close the door behind you?
Anyway, but yeah, they looked at that. What Hardware Unbox ended up finding was that if they just ran the Infiltrator demo at 1800p, so that would be, yeah, 3200 by 1800, because it's still 16 by 9. Ran it at that with TAA, it not only looked almost visually identical. There would probably have been some differences, but it's like the visual quality overall is identical to with DLSS. And it was also like margin of error identical to DLSS. Their point was that, yeah, DLSS is really neat and it's doing this black magic stuff, but you can just run at 1800p in the game and you get the same results, and you don't need a Turing GPU for this. Yeah. For this feature, and it kind of did solidify for them the whole, yeah, that's not a killer feature, but then it's also, there's a whole 2 implementations of it so far. It is entirely possible that it will improve. But that right now, that to them isn't a reason to get it. Personally, I've not been. I question a lot of the things. I don't know how the 2070 will do. This is my opinion, by the way. Anyone else from OCC has any say here, unfortunately. But, so it's like, this is just my own personal opinion. RTX is... It'll be interesting saying, I even what the 2060 want to do. So the more mid-range targeting GPU, maybe more interesting, depending on what it is, and its because, well, also assuming that there even is one. I don't think one has been announced. I know that at least at one point the rumor was that it will be GTX, meaning the RT cores won't be there. And to be fair, I think that makes sense. This ray tracing isn't happening. Okay, I mean, this is a hybridized solution that they're trying to go for. It's going to take a lot before kinks are worked out. No, it's not this generation. If ray tracing does become the hybridized version, does become popular enough amongst developers, gets supported on the consoles, it was still talking about potentially years away. To the point that people are like, oh my god, as far as consumers go, it's like you'd have already upgraded. So yeah, it's but it's just I just wonder what will a 2060 actually be. I think I did see one place, I just don't remember where, speculate. Might they just take Pascal that seats would have a number? There have been those reports that there were many sent back, many Pascal GPUs sent back. Might they rebrand the 1080 as the 2060? It's hard to say, but that also kind of because I would not be surprised because there's some that are expecting that the 20 series is just a stopgap. It's going to be short-lived until NVIDIA can move over to 7 nanometers. It's not an unreasonable idea, especially when you consider that Turing is a monster-sized GPU.
Your inventory is full.
Really? Sure we can't squeeze some more? Yeah, probably not.
You can't carry anymore. You can't hold anymore.
Just checking all of them. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised though if they would decide, you know what? It's just gonna be that there isn't a 2060. We'll just stick to Pascal for that. Because it's not like there's anything wrong with Pascal.
What do you? Don't die in that cold.
Welcome, stranger. Look at our shop. My father is the best smith in town. You'll find no sharper blades.
But my sense of time is really distorted. In part because of the whole having focused so much on Origins. Or any game can happen.
Come back soon. You came back.
Yes, all your stuff is here.
No. Damn it. there are also rumors that AMD might be putting out a new. Yeah, I think I did talk about it also. About a new AMD GPU, potentially like an R680, coming out mid-October, which seems kind of unlikely because October started pretty soon. It's like time. There hasn't
Two
been
tones
really any
are
news on it,
planning to
aside
move
from
south.
like some things, like the rumor that
I should
there's
go
going to be
with
12
them.
nanometer Polaris coming, and the appearance of a new Polaris PCI ID. It's like, I mean, it's possible. It just doesn't seem very likely. And personally, I think I'm pretty sure I did say it at one point that I kind of like the idea that okay, nope, that AMD may, you know, making something like Polaris on the one that reminds me of something else I can talk about. 14 or 12 nanometer. You can basically keep some GPUs, the more mid-range GPUs, and maybe mid-range as well. And you need to shift everything over to 7 nanometer. So finding something to keep that going, because it's like this is a proven effective, proven good process. Why don't keep it around? Especially if it can save money for people. But that does remind me of one thing. That we know code name for a AMD GPU, Arcturus, and it is apparently an actual code name, unlike Vega. Which came from Phoronix because one of the AMD Linux liaisons just answered somebody's criticisms of how, you know, it used to be we had actual code names with AMD, where it's like the Northern Islands and Southern Islands GPUs, and those end up being, oh crap, now I'm trying to remember which ones end up becoming the 200 series, 300 series, and so on. I don't remember. Anyway, but yeah, it moved back to that so that it isn't like it is now with Vega, where Vega is both the name of the GPU architecture and because it does make some things confusing. I was like, I understand it because it was once explained that when it's like Polaris 10, Polaris 11, Vega 10, Vega 11, the first digit is essentially the generation. So that's why Vega 20, second generation Vega, is the 7 nanometer. It's still based on using the same generation of Vega. And that the second digit is just the order they were developed in. So Vega 10 and Vega 11. Vega 10 was made first, Vega 11 came after. Very simple. No, I need to come this way, but I need to speak this first. And I also need to get a drink of water. Anyway, it is definitely confusing for some people.
Let your sword rest, trespasser. We are only smiths, and our craft is forgery, not melee.
You come from across many a sea. The hammer of Donar. If you can't, we toil in darkness.
A human? Down here. You look the worse for wear, wanderer. You'd better buy some of our stock. but the fungoids will get you. You won't see me digging a hole.
And the door I want to actually progress, they just have a lock. I need to do some work first. Anyway, yeah, some people will get confused because Vegas, the RX Vega 64 is named that because it has the full 64 compute units. Vega 56 has 56, but both use the Vega 10 GPU. And also confusing this some is there's the Vega 11 GPU, which actually does have 11 compute units. At least I'm pretty sure that's how many it has at a maximum. That is what is in the APUs. But there's subversions of that, where it's like there's some where there's only 8 of the compute units active. That's still based on Vega 11. Those are not Vega 11 GPUs. Vega 10 is too big to use in an APU. So it's like, yeah, and also Vega 10 HBM. You don't have HBM on an APU, so a lot of people want to see that, but that's not what we have. So this move away would bring him back to like an actual codename, but Arcturus could end up being the RX. If we assume that the 600 series will be the 600 series, let's just assume that that's going to be this new 12 nanometer. Then that means that the 700 series would either be a refinement to Vega, that would also likely have it change from using HBM to GEDDR or something or another, 5 or 6. Then you got Navi, I mean, it's whatever. That Arcturus would be the RX like 700, 800 series, and maybe the Fury line would be brought back. I don't know. It's no idea actually what they end up doing for the new high. What would end up replacing the? Not end up replacing the because it replaced Fury. But the thing with Fury is that it's like GeForce Titan. You got Titan X. Then there's because it's so also there's the Titan. Yeah, that's right. It was like the Titan X. The Titan X. Then there was the Titan. There was like the Pascal-based Titan, and then the Titan XP, which is it's just so screwed. But it's like, the nice thing about having numbers, it's easy to increment. Although it still seems like NVIDIA does it wrong, because we go from 100 at a time, now we're at 1,000. Although I guess you could argue that. You're going from 1,000 to 2,000, like before you would go 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7. I'm sure they did go 7 to 9. But yeah, I'm just trying to think, is there anything? I mean, that topic, I can probably stop. What else is there? Like I said, I've been so focused on Origins that I have been missing some things I don't have. So different. Oh, I think maybe this week a report that Samsung may slow down their production for DRAM, or rather they're not going to slow down, but they won't increase it as much as they planned because there's been a decrease in demand. So it would have the effect of keeping the pricing high, but it should still end up coming down. It just won't come down as much. Because there are some economic justifications for it that it isn't just price fixing. But despite that report, some have still said no, you guys should still see the pricing come down. So it may not be as much, but should still come down. Which would be good to see. Especially by next year. Because mid-next year is when the Zen 2-based processors, the consumer processors, should start coming out. Maybe earlier. It's like the very, and I don't remember what the last was for Epic. Epic is launching most of Zen 2. It's sampling this year. I don't know if they've said anything more than just 2019 for when it will be actually available for the people that need Epic, for those customers. And you'd think that it would be a early 2019 if they are sampling already this year. Well, not they haven't already. They would have sampled by the end of the year. So come on. What was I even... Oh yeah, just... So there may be new computers being built at around that time. When Zen 2 comes out. So hopefully the RAM prices will be at a good point then. Depending... I mean, it's like... The Zen Plus Threadripper isn't enough to make me want to replace my 1950X. But let's see what Zen 2 does. It may be a more substantial and more impressive upgrade, making it worth it, and depending on the price, I might be willing to do that. It does seem like I may be able to do that and not need to change out the motherboard. But depending on the situation, I might decide to do that, and then you make this into some sort of other computer for some purpose. I just don't know what it would be. Like people are definitely looking forward to, oh, when are we going to get Intel 10 nanometer? And Intel's saying sometime volume production sometime next year, but they wanted to have volume production this year, and I think that they've been missing enough targets that it's, well, yeah, you're saying that, but are we actually going to get that? So I don't know when their next significant architecture is gonna come out.
Ha! You return, and they are dead? Good. Well.
Trespasser, I can't help but notice the poor quality of your equipment. You call this an epic item?
Yeah, Space Edge is in meat, and you'll make me. Well, no, you'll be like, oh, you got this. Yeah, I'll make that wonderful thing for you. That I didn't actually do this, and I don't have the material I need to make it. So, could you get that for me? And unfortunately, getting that requires basic getting to the end of the game. So, yeah. We'll end of the expansion. I guess that actually makes sense. What's the difference between this DLC content and an expansion? That actually could be a fair go between. Like with Assassin's Creed Origins, you ensure that my level's high enough now, but it's the whole you don't really want to go there until you're high enough. But I was trying to mention Shadow of War earlier as well. It's like you could enter those early if you wanted. Shadow of Mordor, you definitely know that.
Your inventory is full. You can't hold anymore. You can't carry anymore.
You actually do go from
you can't hold anymore.
The next. So I guess that would make sense for how to define an expansion such that I guess it just has to sit there. Define an expansion such that you can really distinguish between them. That with this, it expands the story. It just continues on. It gives you the next thing. You do go straight to it. Whereas when it's just a DLC story expansion, don't want to use expansion, but new DLC campaign, that's actually something separate that you could maybe do at any time.
This axe can decapitate
I remember
tumors
when
in
I did
one
the
sting.
Saints Row 3, Saints Row 3 review, I think I did say that you want to do the space one like right away. Oh, I don't remember what I need to do. Oh, no, I didn't. I should do that.
Thank you.
What do you have?
I have one more space. I'm just gonna get this. It's easy enough to pull them and just throw them into the thing.
Don't die in that cold.
Into the bigger stash thing I've got. Ooh, that. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck there. Oh well. There isn't a convenient way to get to where I need to turn in the thing.
A stone tablet? Yes. This is just what I was looking for.
That. That was also something from this week. Dirt Rally 2.0 was announced, and also Dirt Rally was on sale, and I was kind of tempted to pick it up because it would have been like $10 for me. Because I enjoy Dirt 4, but just the potential to play that on the mixed reality headset, it's like that. I'd like to do that, but I don't know when I'd get to. So I decided to basically. But hey, maybe I don't remember what spring 2019 was that it? Maybe I'll be like get a review. Because I know I love games with the trackers. That is just, I mean, I don't think I can stress enough the whole, I like arcade race games. Like, Dirt 4 feels more like that to me, where it's like, yeah, I do the same those, but if I go off, if I make a mistake, you know, it's kind of okay. And also in those where there's everybody there, yeah, if I want to be a little aggressive, I can. You can't really do that in F1. That is a simulation level, not an arcade game. But it's still, I prefer arcades, so it's like third-person camera. That's how I prefer to play. Not when I have the gaze tracker. Not F1 2018 or 2017. It's no. They're first-person gaze tracker. That's the way to play, for me at least. I'm sure plenty of people have. This is the experience I want, and it is so good. I need to go back and play more. I do want to go back and play more, but I just, unfortunately, it's kind of a weird thing. I very often what happens when I try to review a game is I don't come back. I leave it and I tend not to come back. At least not for a while, because it's like now where I need to move on to the next game to review. Or it's just I need a break, basically. It's like, okay, I got the review done, now I'm gonna do something else with my time. But you know, one thing I'm kind of thinking that, you know, maybe I can help convince myself to go back and redo some of the games, because just the whole how to stream the review, like, I could just keep up with some of these games as an excuse to go back. I like finding excuses to play games. It works well for me. Like playing for time, horror games, narcotic game stuff. In some cases, I'm also replaying games. Like I replayed. Hang on. I just remembered something I need to check. Okay, I've yes, I have time. What? Yeah. Sorry, I was just remembering. I need to make sure I've got enough video scheduled, and I've still got a couple weeks for one of the series. Don't just I did review, but I know what I want to do next and shouldn't do. But yeah, maybe I can use that and just I go back, replay some of the games, and maybe also play the game. I don't know. But actually, you know, that was one thing that might be fair to talk about. I used to do those reviews later, the reviews where I return to. I used to do those more often. Then I stopped, and I figured out why. It's not. I may have initially stopped because it's like, well, we don't have new games coming out at that time. When it's like, well, I need to review the previous games. Or I haven't already reviewed, and it's like, that could be interesting. Instead, what I realized is doing the body on game stuff, I'm already playing these older games. Well, on some of these older games. But like, that's taking up my time. And in some cases, it can be a lot. Some of those, it's like, 20, 30 hours of gameplay. The video processing goes at like, now at like 12 to 15% speed. That's a lot of time. It really takes a lot of time. Either that is how I'm using it, or I can't really do. It's sort of like how I don't do when I do this, the streaming, the review playthrough, or just the capture of it. That I can't capture the full speed of that. The CPU is being loaded with more stuff. So I think I'm fairly safe to say that my 950X is not. The game isn't really being hit that hard by default. Because it's a 32-thread processor. 16 cores, 32 threads. Even today, an exceptional example in Arsenal. A well-threaded game today is still just 6 threads. It used to be 4 threads. But that's been changing, but now it's 6 threads. But even then, a lot of 4 threads. So it's like, yeah, even loading down all these other threads with the video encoding, it's not hitting. It shouldn't be hitting performance that much. Though it may be saturating some things, like the memory connection or the video card connection enough to have some impact there. I mean, but yeah, I mean, with that, it might be that there could be an issue there, but I mean, otherwise, I think when I have like just paid attention to the overlays FPS number, that it's like, nah, it's basically the same. I mean, maybe a few FPS off, but it wouldn't be margin of error.
Helmets are over here. Tangled hair, but no split skull.
This is one of those weird things that because I have some knowledge of statistics, I understand, but that doesn't mean I can explain it well.
Yes, all your stuff is here.
I might be able to, if I actually did all the work to do the math and also to better understand the math, I might be able to show that no,
don't die in that cold.
There is a significant performance difference between when I am running OBS, having it do the 2 encoding streams while playing game, that yes, there was a significant decrease in FPS directly because of this. That decrease may be 2 frames per second. It would still be significant though, because the significance would be that it is because of this, and it is consistent. This is not just noisy data. This isn't just error. This is, no, it is always here, and it is because of this. That makes it significant. Versus where it's like, oh, this is a significant performance impact, we're losing 20 frames per second. So that is a significant amount versus a statistical significance. There are differences there. And it can definitely be worth understanding that difference, especially if you see places where they're potentially manipulating things. Yeah, that was actually, which was kind of like another video that Hardware Unbox talked about. Because they had discovered something and then they noticed, hey, all of this stuff prior to the RTX cards coming out, they're comparing the performance graphs are showing, with HDR on, and it's showing the performance difference there. Well, Hardware Unbox had done some tests and found that Well, when you enable HDR in Pascal, you actually see a performance hit. So, whereas Turing has a HDR pipeline in it. So what they were kind of pointing out was that, yeah, it looks like they might actually have done that because Pascal is at a disadvantage for HDR, whereas Turing is not. But anyway, that's enough of me and my voice. Especially since whenever I write up the Assassin's Creed Origins review, and whenever that goes live, there's going to be over 50 hours, well over 50 hours of my voice, because I have that much already captured. I am so sorry for you. Actually, it won't be. Some of them, I actually turned the mic off in the middle. They're just like cleanup. I'm going through cleaning up the map.